Goeiedag! Good day, fellow South Africans, and the old fart in the background is having a seniors moment. Yeah, you've all met Bonsai. Once he gets over it, we'll continue with this discussion. There you go. I think he's over it. Now, this is a very serious think tank discussion, and I would love your comments down below so I can get your feedback on what I'm talking about here. And you know, sometimes the simplest way to describe something is to have a formula. And if you think of Albert Einstein with his formula, E equals mc squared, Google it and you'll find out exactly what it means if you don't know. We have a new formula, and that is that black privilege equals racism. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about it on two different levels. The first level is that if you dare challenge a black person in South Africa over corruption or whatever else it might be, you're a racist. Black privilege equals a racism. And the second aspect to this is that policies like BEE and BBBEE, which are racist, are providing black privilege. Now, when it comes to the counter argument, which people like the EFF bring up, which is white privilege, I just have to point at all the white squatter camps around South Africa today. Many of them have very, very skilled people who could far better complete the jobs and do the work of the people who are now in those positions because of BEE. And that's the reason why South Africa right now is just tumbling down the drain. You know, I got an email from Marlena, who's a very relevant and regular emailer to me, and she sent the following information, which I find quite extraordinary, and yet it kind of sums up what I'm talking about. She says, "My neighbor's husband, a building contractor, is living this nightmare constantly. It has become, in fact, quite impossible to complete any project, usually low-cost housing, for the black population, you note, which he is involved in. I have asked her whether he would be prepared to do an interview with his face obscured on Loving Life's Real Life video, but he rejected, saying that his life will be in danger." And I can understand what she's saying here, because there have been a few people who've been involved with the Loving Life channel who've felt the same way. And, you know, that is a tragedy, but the reality of what's going on in South Africa. Anyway, this contracting guy operates on the West Rand, and although this article also mentions projects across KwaZulu-Natal and other areas of Gauteng, the same is happening all over the country. He has often been intimidated, even had his life threatened, if he does not get a 30% cut for doing nothing in this project. They also demand that he fires his team of workers and appoints non-trained workers. They have often vandalized buildings and even do not allow him to park his truck at the building site. This is what is going on in South Africa today. You've got thugs running the country, and they start right at the top of the ANC, and this is why the whole thing is kind of unraveling. It's like a pack of cards. It's just starting to collapse. Let's get to the article. Armed invaders are said to be hijacking building construction across KwaZulu-Natal, leaving work incomplete. Johannesburg. An alleged construction site invasion in Bedfordview has authorities concerned that the so-called construction mafia is not only gaining a foothold in Ekurhuleni, but is muscling into the suburban building market. Owners of a construction company working in Bedfordview claimed that a group of men came to their site 3 weeks ago, forced their employees to down tools, damage property, and threaten them. Now, you might recall a month ago or so, I talked about Group 5, where these huge construction projects were totally sabotaged by these black gangs who came in, demanded a percentage of the work for doing nothing, almost like protection money. And while they were about it, they were burning down buildings, destroying vehicles and equipment and so on. And that's why companies like Group 5, part of that was because they were never paid, closed down shop in South Africa and went back offshore. And now what you've got is like it's a miniature scale where they're going for the smaller construction companies. Owners of a construction company working in Bedfordview claim that a group of men came to their site 3 weeks ago, forced their employees to down tools, damaged property, and threatened them. The men were from a construction company called Findani Trading and Projects, based in Malvern East. The incident comes as another construction company owner says he is forced to employ local contractors who threaten to sabotage his work if he doesn't comply. The owners of the construction company, which is building residential units in Bedfordview, says the owner of Findani Trading and Projects, Muksalidi Findani, went to their site wanting to be subcontracted to complete the tiling on the project. Findani visited the site and officers on several occasions and became threatening. They said, "We will kill you," said one of the owners of the construction company who wanted to remain anonymous. Workers from Findani Trading and Projects allegedly broke a gate to the premises and a door. The owners of the construction company said Findani demanded that they use workers from their community. Findani denied damaging the door and gate and said he didn't threaten anyone. He claimed he was there in good faith looking for a contract to do the tiling. Yeah. These guys are good when it comes to lying. Think no further than Zuma. Yeah. Findani said he instructed the workers to down tools so that the owner would come to the site and they could discuss a contract. This was done peacefully, he said. We requested from them that if they claim they employed people from the community, could we have proof of that, said Findani. He accused the owners of using illegal immigrants as labour. Findani said it was up to private companies to employ workers from the community to help with unemployment and boost the local economy. The owners said they don't employ illegal workers. However, DA councillor in Bedfordview, Jill Humphreys, says Findani had no right. They are taking a chance. There isn't a law allowing them to do that. There is this process in government, and Ercolini subscribes to it. Here, we have a local project. We have a locally employed community liaison officer who procures workers from the local community, said Humphreys. If he wants to report that there is any business doing illegal employment, he must go to the police. Humphreys said she contacted the Ercolini city manager who instructed the Ercolini Metro Police Department, or EMPD chief, to deal with the problem. EMPD personnel are to respond if Findani comes back to the site. Other construction company owners had similar experiences, which they say is the work of so-called construction mafia. Humphreys said councillors across Ercolini were receiving reports of incidents. The Bedfordview Community Policing Forum, CPF, said it received reports of a group of individuals who have been approaching construction sites and demanding that the developers get rid of their workforce and appoint them as their contractors. This, they said, was done through threats and intimidation. They say they were working with neighbourhood suburb CPFs, the SAPS, EMPD, and the City Council to combat the syndicates. A business owner who installs fibre cables in residential areas that includes Edenvale, Bedfordview and Olifantsfontein said that since the beginning of the year he increasingly encountered what he called construction mafia who came and demanded work. They will come to you and say, "We want a piece of the project whether you like it or not," said the owner, who also wished to remain anonymous. If you don't, they threaten to demolish the infrastructure. They then give you people to work with who are inexperienced and are just there to be paid. The construction owner said he complies as the police do nothing. Get that? The police do nothing. It is difficult to work out the true costs of this crime, but Roy Mzini, the executive director of Master Builders South Africa, believes the figure is 26 billion rand. It is often done in the guise of radical economic transformation, and state infrastructure projects have been the worst hit. A common modus operandi is to demand a 30% stake in the project. Now you see how Bonsai responds to radical economic transformation? He knows it's a complete con. Carrying on with the article. Those who don't agree often face work stoppages or even vandalism. The first report of the crime were from Durban in 2016, but since then it has spread across the country. We've experienced it mostly with public sector projects, but they've been moving to private sector projects, and one wouldn't be surprised if they're also moving to residential development, said Nisi. Nisi said his organisation was trying to address the problem. We're engaging the government. Unfortunately, we're getting very little support from law enforcement. Black privilege. Do what you like. Steal what you like. Loot what you like. Loot the trucks. Stop the trucks. Block the roads. Rob people. The whole country is completely cactus. That's black privilege, ladies and gentlemen. South Africa 2019. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed, ring the bell for updates, and have a great day. Bye for now.